Hey guys, I am so excited to present this video segment to you. It is going to be awesome. You know how we have talked several times throughout our class year together how God has a perfect plan for us. We don't always understand what it is, but He has a perfect plan for us. Well, when I heard that we would no longer be able to be together in school and that the governor of Michigan asked all of us to stay at home to stay safe, that afternoon I quickly went to the dollar store just searching for any supplies that I might need to show you or that I might need to be able to teach to you from my home. You can see everything spread around behind me. It's kind of a mess right now. But in one of the aisles was a table, and it was a table full of books. And if you know teachers, we love books. And I thought, I just want to find some books that I can read to you. And little did I know how creatively orchestrated that visit to the dollar store was, because I found this book, Miss Todd and Her Wonderful Flying Machine. This book is so cool in so many different ways. Number one, it's based on the life of a real person, and we just finished studying that with our biography parades. Then it is also a book that has beautiful illustrations. It even received an award for it. Now these illustrations are so cool because they are not drawn, they are not computer generated, they are actually sets, miniature sets built by the person who wrote this book. And in order to make the illustration come to life, they made it 3D. So it's kind of like if you've ever played paper dolls. How many of you have ever done that? The paper dolls are flat, but you can move them around into different scenes. Let me show you an example of what I mean by the illustration. Let's see if I can find a really cool one. I know there's one. Okay, right here. Look at this picture. Do you see how the characters are all flat? They're made out of paper, and there are hundreds of them, and the scenery all put together. Kind of like if you were watching a play and you took a snapshot, a picture of one scene of that play. That's what this is. And there's another secret to this book that I can't tell you right now because I'm so anxious to get started reading this to you. All righty. Oh, I thought I should show you also, before we get going, some of the characters in this book so that you know this is based on a real life. Okay, this is Miss Todd, and she is building an airplane or a flying machine. This lady is Mrs. Sage. She recognized the talent in Miss Todd and helped her to purchase the supplies needed to make the flying machine, and she gave her a warehouse to work in. This person is from France. His name is Didier Masson, and it's hard for me to say it. I've practiced quite a bit, but Didier Masson, he plays a very important role in this story. You see, when this story took place, women did not have many rights. And do you remember Ella told us about Susan B. Anthony and how she worked hard to get women to be able to vote? Well, back in this era, no woman was ever allowed to fly a plane. It was viewed as dangerous, and it was viewed as a man's job. That sounds kind of funny to us now because we really don't think that way. But back then, that's just how it was. Okay, so that's a little bit of background. Let's get started in reading this book. It's so cool. I'm going to kind of turn a little bit so that you can see more of the pages as I'm reading. Let's see if I can get that set up. Okay, that's better. Oh, I'm going to go a little bit more. Okay, here we go. The first time Miss Lily Todd knew she wanted to fly was when she felt the wind in her hair as Grandpa tossed her high into the air. From that moment on, Lily was happiest when her feet weren't touching the ground. Have your parents or grandparents ever done that? They toss you up and catch you, toss you up and catch you. Lily was determined, sometimes even reckless. In her pursuit of flight, watching birds soaring in the sky, she made her own wings. She did things that made Grandpa Joe very worried indeed. Look at that. And look at this. And there's Grandpa Joe helping her up. You're a smart girl, Lily, he would say, but even baby birds have to learn how to fly. Lily trusted her grandpa and started reading as much as she could about birds, bats, bees, and anything else with wings. So she was doing some research to learn how these creatures fly. How are their wings made? And I wonder if she will use that knowledge for something. As Lily grew, so did her passion for flying. She discovered that wearing wings wasn't enough. If she wanted to fly, she would have to build a flying machine. She made lots of paper airplanes to test her designs, but again and again they crashed to the ground. Whenever Lily was feeling discouraged, Grandpa Joe would pick up the pieces and tell her to try again. But she wanted more. She was ready to stretch her wings. I wonder what that phrase means, to stretch your wings. Lily, called Grandpa Joe at the top of the stairs. Wish me luck, Grandpa, said Lily as she rushed out of the house with her arms full of her designs for her flying machine. It was time for Lily to find her place in the world. And she knew exactly where to go. She would go to university or to college. There she could learn with others who shared her same passion for flying. But everywhere she went, doors closed into her face. All she heard was no, no, no. Why not? Questioned Lily. No girls allowed. That's the rule, they all said. Slam, slam, slam. The universities wouldn't even give her a chance. But then a different voice said, no, no, no. It was Mrs. Sage, one of the richest and most important women in New York. She was sick and tired of girls not being allowed to learn, and she wouldn't give another dime to any place with such silly rules. And who are you? She asked, pointing to Lily. I'm Miss Lily Todd. Come now, I don't know how you can stand to be here another second. And with that, Mrs. Sage whisked Lily away. That afternoon, Lily shared all of her hopes and dreams with Mrs. Sage. She talked through the designs for her machine, and how she longed to build it and fly in the world-famous Long Island flying competition. Very soon, pilots from all over would be gathering to compete, and Lily wanted to be one of them. Mrs. Sage believed in Lily and knew just how to help. See them going into the barn or the warehouse? Mrs. Sage provided Lily with everything she needed to make her flying machine, including a workshop. Lily rolled up her sleeves and got to work. Not that it was easy. Her hands became as rough as sandpaper, and her back ached from carrying the wood, and some days it seemed like nothing was going according to plan, but she never gave up. And then at last, look at this. She did it. Look at that flying machine. That is such a wonderful, wonderful creation. And just in time for the day of the competition, where the pilots were getting ready to risk their necks to test their flying machines. Look at this one, took off and crunched. That guy, he's all kind of lulu from his fall. The machines came in all shapes and sizes, but most of them just did not work at all. I wonder if they had studied as hard as Miss Todd. Lily was ready to take to the skies in her flying machine, but no, 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 a voice said. Who are you? Asked Lily. I'm Didier Masson, the famous pilot in the world, the most famous pilot in the world, and I'll be the one flying your plane today. What? Why? Exclaimed Lily. No girls allowed in the sky. That's the rule, and there's nothing you can do about it. It just wasn't fair, Lily thought. But then Lily had an idea. Snatching Didier's scarf and helmet, she decided to take things into her own hands. Oh my goodness, can you see what she's doing? She's got the red scarf. Who had the red scarf? Who had a brown jacket? Do you know what she's doing? Too late for anyone to stop her now. But would Lily fly? Would her machine take off? She was flying. She had done it. She had proved them all wrong. I bet you she was feeling overwhelmed and excited and very pleased. But oh dear, Lily was in trouble. Look. Snap. A snap in the wing. Would she end up like all of the other pilots whose flying machines had crashed to the ground? She couldn't give up now. Lily gripped the steering wheel and gritted her teeth. The frame shuddered and creaked, but she held on until she could feel herself gliding in the wind as gracefully as the birds she used to watch from her window. She felt freer than she had ever felt before. The ground rushed toward her, and she came in for a landing. Lily braced herself. She landed. Her machine had flown, and she had felt the wind in her hair before safely returning to the ground. Lily felt invincible, meaning she felt as if she could do anything in the world. A furious Didier was waiting, snatching back his scarf and cap. You! He growled. I did it, Lily exclaimed. I flew. No, you didn't. It's against the rules and it doesn't count. Women don't fly, taunted Didier. The cheering crowd rushed in. But no. They lifted Didier onto their shoulders, believing he had been the one flying the plane all along with his famous red scarf. As they carried him away, chanting his name, Lily was left alone on the airfield. Her heart was broken. She felt that in all the world, the only words that were left for her were no, no, no. What was she to do if her dreams were against the rules? As Lily sat amongst her beloved books, the paper worn thin from studying, and model planes surrounding her, she knew she couldn't give up. After everything she had fought for, all that she had achieved, and with the sky still beckoning, she had to fly again. Do you think she will? So that is just what she did. She realized that it didn't matter what other people said. She would always find a way to fly. And when she was soaring high above the clouds, flying free with the wind in her hair, she knew that nothing could hold her down, not even gravity. So look closely at that picture, kids. How did she get to fly again? Remember, it was against the rules for women to pilot a plane. So isn't that a really cool story? I just think it was very well written. I think it was very well illustrated. I think it can show each of us that when we have an idea and we have a dream, that we have to work really hard at it, and we will be able to achieve that dream as long as we are being diligent, we are persevering, and we're not giving up. I'm really glad I could share that book. Now, the cool thing is, guys and girls, is that in the back of this book, it tells how they made all of the different pieces of scenery. And the coolest thing of all is that in the very back, it talks about how a film was written and directed by Miss Christina Yee. I will put the link to the film on this video. I will attach it. I watched it the other night. It's a short film, but it retells the story of Miss Todd, and you can really see all of those paper doll illustrations and how they move. It is really cool. If you watch some of the extra parts on the link, it teaches you how to make scenery just like this. It looks real life. It looks true to life, but then you see the paper doll, and then you can tell, okay, something's not quite real life about that. So, great book, a wonderful read. I never knew I would find something like this in a dollar store, but this is a book I will treasure forever. And I hope you'll be able to look at that link and just really enjoy learning about how this book was put together. Excellent. We'll talk to you later.